Okay, for part 3, I have decided to just kind of discuss my ad and point out some things that I would do to improve it. So for starters, just a little recap, this was part of the 2012 Pepsi ad campaign, especially specific to around Super Bowl time. So most of my writing deals with this chalice picture as well as this picture with the woman. And as I did some further research, I found a couple others, so I just thought I would show those as well. Thinking back to the time frame of 2012 for me, I don't remember a lot, but I've always been an avid Pepsi drinker. So I feel that these ads are doing absolutely nothing to draw in anybody because I just don't feel like they are relatable, at least maybe not to my generation. And so, for starters, maybe just looking at this. For the most part, it's probably the most appealing of the 4 here that I will show you and discuss, but it's just not bringing me in, and it doesn't really relate to me, to the Pepsi for All. Like I stated in my paper, it does make more sense if you actually watch the TV commercial version. So without that TV commercial, I feel that it's confusing. So probably on all of them, for starters, maybe put a small QR code somewhere so that the audience can scan that and be able to view the video. And like I said, this is from 2012, so that might have not been the end thing to do back then either, but that's definitely one thing I would do to improve it for now. Otherwise, this one, like I said, is the one that is the most appealing to me, with the red and blue Pepsi colors, the chalice with the Pepsi on it. To me, that's the one that speaks out most to grab my attention and want to drink the Pepsi. And then if we go to this woman that I discuss a lot in my paper, I find it confusing because why does she have this guitar here? The blue hair, again, it's probably to do with the Pepsi, but in that actual time frame, I don't think they probably would have had blue hair. Pepsi for All, kind of like I said, this to me is kind of reaching out more to that older generation, and maybe that was Pepsi's goal, but it's just not really speaking to me. And then over here, once again, this is pulled more from that TV commercial with Flavor Flav. And if I remember correctly, he seemed to be more popular in the early 2000s, kind of when I was in high school. So maybe, once again, maybe they are trying to reach my generation with something with him in it, but I'm just not seeing it nor really liking it. So maybe just using different ideas in general. Then the last one is this one with Melanie, and she was a winner of the X Factor, and she also was part of that TV commercial. So now that I had found that TV commercial and watched it, it makes a lot more sense. But I just feel like there is just a disconnect if you haven't seen that. I wasn't a big X Factor watcher, so I would have had no clue who she was. And I don't feel maybe like X Factor was really that big of a show in 2011, but maybe it was. Okay, so now that I've shown you the 4 print ads for the Pepsi for All, now can I tell you overall what I think could be done differently? For starters, maybe if we're thinking Pepsi for All, this to me means, all of us. So maybe having pictures of more real-life people, moms, dads, kids, teenagers, grandma, grandpa, and having, some of those kind of all together on an ad. I could even see it, like a family picture if we're going to have this kind of 2-page spread here. A picture of a family and they all drink Pepsi. Kind of just connecting it more to that real person instead of these fictitious things or things that they pulled from their TV commercial. So overall, I like just the plain background, but I would change the people in the ad, and if they didn't want to do that, I just feel like that QR code or the link to the actual TV commercial would be beneficial, because I don't know if I even remember watching that commercial, but granted it was 4 years ago as well. So overall, I like the simplicity. I just think they could have done a few things together, especially using that slogan, Pepsi for All.